In traditional African system, no one eats alone, no one suffers alone, and no one succeeds alone. This is the story of communal living and why the world needs it now more than ever. Imagine a place where the concept of I is seamlessly woven into the fabric of we, where the boundaries between self and community blur, creating a tapestry of shared experiences, responsibilities, and triumph. This is the essence of communal living in African culture. What is communal living in African culture? At its core, communal living in Africa is about shared responsibility, mutual aid, and collective identity. It's a stark contrast to the Western ideal of rugged individualism, where personal achievement often trumps communal well-being. In Africa, the self is plural. You are because we are. Ubuntu, the philosophy of togetherness. This philosophy finds its most eloquent expression in the concept of Ubuntu, a term originating from Southern Africa that means humanity towards others. Ubuntu isn't just a feel-good phrase, it's a guiding principle used in governance, healing, and justice systems across the continent. It's Africa's moral compass and perhaps the world's missing ingredient. Ubuntu has transcended borders, finding application in global peace-building efforts and leadership models. It reminds us that our humanity is inextricably bound up in others. It's a call to see ourselves in our neighbors, to recognize that our destinies are intertwined. Kinship systems and extended families. Ubuntu is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Africa's rich tradition of communal living. Kinship systems and extended families form the backbone of many African societies. Here, the roles of aunties, uncles, elders, and godparents extend far beyond biological ties. Take the Yoruba of West Africa, for instance. Their kinship model is so expansive that a child might have several mothers and fathers within the community. The Igbo of Nigeria, the Akan of Ghana, and the Zulu of South Africa all have their unique kinship structures, but they share a common thread: collective child rearing and elder care. In African homes, every child has many parents. It's a beautiful illustration of the proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child." This approach not only ensures that children are well cared for, but also fosters a sense of belonging and responsibility to the wider community. Shared land and resource management. The communal spirit extends beyond family structures to the very land itself. Across Africa, you will find examples of shared land and resource management that have sustained communities for generations. The Maasai of East Africa, for instance, have traditionally managed their grazing lands communally, ensuring that no one family overuses the resources at the expense of others. In Yoruba and Igbo communities, land was never owned in the Western sense, it was entrusted. The community held the land in stewardship for future generations. This approach to land management isn't just about resource distribution, it's about maintaining a harmonious relationship with the environment and each other. Conflict resolution and restorative justice. When conflicts arise, as they inevitably do in any community, African societies have developed unique approaches to resolution that prioritize reconciliation over punishment. Palaver huts in Liberia, talking circles in Uganda, and elder councils across the continent serve as forums for open dialogue and collective problem solving. In Ghana, the concept of a Bua family extends to conflict resolution, where disputes are settled with the aim of restoring harmony to the community. Rwanda's post-genocide Gacaca courts drew on traditional justice mechanisms to promote healing and reconciliation. In these systems, justice was not revenge, it was repair. Rituals that bind communities. Rituals play a crucial role in binding African communities together. From the Ngoma healing ceremonies of Southern Africa to naming rituals and harvest festivals across the continent, these shared experiences create a rhythm of belonging. Dance, music, and prayer serve as communal healing practices, reinforcing social bonds and collective identity. Urban revival of communal models. Don't think for a moment that these communal traditions are relics of the past. In Africa's rapidly growing cities, young people are reimagining communal living for the 21st century. CU housing projects in Lagos, ECU villages outside Nairobi, and shared economies in Johannesburg and Accra are breathing new life into age-old principles of togetherness. These urban experiments are more than just housing solutions. They're incubators for social innovation. Youth-led collectives are tackling everything from sustainable agriculture to digital literacy, proving that Africa's old ways are shaping new cities. Communal living and mental health. The benefits of communal living extend far beyond the practical. Studies have shown that strong community ties contribute significantly to mental health and well-being. In African societies, the support networks that rally around individuals during times of grief, childbirth, or crisis serve as a powerful buffer against loneliness and isolation. Research on resilience and emotional intelligence often points to the importance of social connections, something that African communal living cultivates in abundance. It's a reminder that community is medicine, and Africa knew it first. Lessons for the world. As the world grapples with challenges like climate change, social inequality, and cultural erosion, Africa's communal wisdom offers valuable lessons. The principles of Ubuntu can inform more empathetic leadership styles and inclusive educational models. Traditional resource management practices provide insights into sustainable living and climate resilience. Even in the tech world, African communal values are making an impact. From crowdfunding platforms inspired by traditional saving circles to apps that facilitate community-based childcare, Africa's collective spirit is innovating for the digital age. Africa's communal wisdom is not ancient, it's urgent. It offers a blueprint for building societies that are more resilient, equitable, and connected. In a world that often feels fragmented and divided, the African model of togetherness reminds us of our fundamental interconnectedness. Conclusion and reclaiming togetherness. Africa didn't just live together, it thrived together. And in that thriving, we find hope for a more connected, compassionate world. The lessons of African communal living aren't relics of the past. They're roadmaps for our shared future. So the next time you sit down for a meal, remember, in traditional Africa system, no one eats alone. And perhaps, in embracing that spirit of togetherness, we can nourish not just our bodies, but our communities and our world. Until next time.